Welcome to the Fear and Greed Daily Interview. I'm Sean Aylmer. Australia's largest undeveloped silver deposit is set to be mined, with planning authorities approving the massive project as demand for critical minerals soars. The Bowden's silver mine, about 30 kilometres from Mudgee in the New South Wales Central West, is expected to produce about 3.4 million ounces of silver per year, as well as valuable byproducts like zinc and lead. But these same byproducts have seen a surge in local opposition to the project, despite New South Wales Health and the Environmental Protection Agency not raising any concerns that couldn't be managed. Anthony McClure is the Managing Director of Silver Mines Limited, the company behind the mine. Anthony, welcome to Fear and Greed.
Thanks very much, Sean.
Tell me about the project. Tell me the stats. It's a big development.
It's pretty big. It's the largest undeveloped silver project in Australia and one of the largest globally. In terms of the size of the mine, it's not as big as a coal mine or a big gold mine, whatever. But it's I'll classify it as a medium-sized mine. But the growth potential is significant, so it will grow over time.
Okay, so just tell me, you've got the approvals to develop it. What's next? What's the next few years look like?
Yeah, well, the approvals was a big moment for us, and obviously we've been working on that for many years. Our environmental assessments were submitted almost 3 years ago, and it's a long time to get through the approvals. So it was a big headline for us, and probably the biggest moment in the company's time when getting those final approvals through. New South Wales has a process that is detailed, and we have got through the process, obviously, with flying colours. The development process now is we have a lot more planning to do. So for the balance of this year, we'll have more planning in terms of the lead up for development, and we hope to be making a decision early in 2024 for the development.
Okay, you're going to have to help me out here, Anthony. How's silver actually mined? What's the process?
Well, it's like any mine, really. We're an open cut operation.
Right.
Perhaps in the future it might go underground, but it's the initial kickoff is just an open cut operation. We'll be operating for 16 years or so, but we're happy to say that this operation will still be in production in 50 years' time. It's a large mineralised system that keeps going at depth, and we're planning an underground operation as we speak as well. But the initial approvals is for the initial kickoff being the open cut operation.
Okay, so you extract silver. The byproducts of zinc and lead, are they kind of part of the extraction process along with silver, and then they split? Is that how it works?
Yeah, it all comes out together. So we'll produce two products. One is the silver and lead concentrate, and then we have a silver product as well. Just in terms of the revenues, about 70% of the operation will be from silver, 20% from zinc, and 10% from lead. The main product being the silver lead concentrate. That's likely to go by rail to Port Pirie in South Australia for processing, and the zinc product will go to Tasmania or anywhere in Asia for processing. But these are quality products and quality concentrates, and they can effectively go anywhere in the world for processing.
And we talk a lot about precious minerals and the need for more of them, these critical minerals. What is silver used for? What's zinc and lead used for? What's silver zinc used for?
Silver's really topical at the moment because it's a major component in photovoltaic cells, so solar power. It's also a key item in electric vehicles, and there's sort of 50-odd points in an electric vehicle where silver's required. And the reason for that, it's in those new technologies or developing technologies, is because silver is by far the best electrical conductor out of all the metals. So when you're trying to get the best out of your battery in your electric vehicle, having that silver connectivity provides that connectivity to get the utmost out of the battery. Solar power cells, they don't operate without silver in them. The technologies may change over time, but it's very much a growth industry. And it's not just those two areas, but you think about mobile phones, 5G towers, computers, TVs, whatever. Almost all componentry like that has silver in it, and that's all. It's always going to be a growth market, and there's other areas as well. But about half of silver is used in industrial applications, and then you have the classics like jewelry and coinage and so forth. But the real growth market is in the electrical applications, industrial applications.
Stay with me, Anthony. We'll be back in a minute. My guest this morning is Anthony McClure, Managing Director of Silver Mines Limited. So we certainly need more of those critical minerals. The flip side to this whole discussion is the, I suppose, community license. So there was community opposition to the mine. That Mudgee area, obviously a lot of vineyards around there. There's plenty of mining around there as well. Great farming land in places. A lot of opposition seemed to focus on the byproduct of lead. How do you manage that? So, I mean, we know that the approvals process allowed the mine through, so I'm not even, no sort of value judgment in this, but how do you manage working with a community like that to get them across the line?
Yeah, well, the opposition to this mine, and it's no different to other mines. However, our process has been pretty good because we have such strong local support for the project. The opposition there, yes, was talking about lead and so forth. But in our assessment process, so we bring in a international renowned expert to do the work on understanding the issues that we must handle. That then goes off to 14 government departments. Our reviewer that did the independent work was also peer reviewed by another expert. As I say, 14 government departments look at it, Department of Planning and Environment look at it then. They also peer review, and in each of those assessments, there were no detrimental health problems for the operation in its entirety in their life. So it's not an issue at all. Yes, there was a bit of a beat up and whatever, but it's a non-issue really.
I'm not questioning you at all about what you've just said, but it's more just the process of managing people is really what I mean, because every mine, I mean, there's one near Blaney, which isn't that far from Mudgee, certainly in the Narrabri area, there's had Queensland. No matter what, there's always got to be a lot of work with community, doesn't there?
Yes, indeed. And when we took over the project 6 years ago, the previous operator had left it in not a great state. So we saw that before we took over. We spent a lot of effort for the community to understand us. But the main sort of opportunity for us is really just to be open and transparent. And as we build up, all of our staff are part of the community. We live and work in the community. We're well known in the community. And when you're open and transparent and you're not trying to hide things, whatever, it's a pretty simple process. Yes, you're not going to please everyone, but by far overwhelmingly is we now have very solid local support, and there's reasons for that. We're in a region where we have a lot of coal mining, whatever, and that will be pinched out over the next decade or two. So the region is very focused on what's going to come in behind there, and yes, we have wineries not around us, but in closer into Mudgee, but there's other opportunities there, but diversification is really important. That's been a real focus locally by government and by council as well. And so we're in a pretty good position there where people are thinking, well, what happens post-coal? And you need industries like this developed. Otherwise, we're turning profitable parts of our state into lands which are not so productive. So it's great. It's great to see the government supporting these sorts of industries, council and the community as well.
Do you have some sense of how much economic benefit it will bring to that Mudgee region?
Well, in terms of jobs, so we'll have 320 new jobs in construction. That'll settle down to about 230 jobs. But for this sort of industry, we create another 2.5 jobs per each mining job. So we're talking 500 or 600 jobs that are created locally. So service industries, local support industries and so forth that are created get huge benefits from the area. And, as I say, the longevity of this project is certainly apparent. The initial developments for a 16-year mine life, but as I say, this project will be still in production in 50 years' time. So for the state revenues, as the coal mining pinches out, for this year's the example, there's $6 billion in revenues that come from mining in New South Wales. Most of that is from coal. So what happens post-coal is a real scratch of the heads at the moment. So it's these sorts of projects that need to step up and creating that revenue. And you think about the hospitals, the schools, roads and so forth, and a big part of that is paid by mining royalties in the state, and we need to be promoting other industries and being a part of the renewable space and decarbonisation industries, which we are. We're delighted to be a part of it, and it's going to be great for the region and obviously for our staff and the community as a whole.
Anthony, thank you for talking to Fear and Greed.
Pleasure, Sean. Thank you.
That was Anthony McClure, Managing Director of Silver Mines. This is the Fear and Greed Daily Interview. Join us every morning for the full episode of Fear and Greed, Australia's most popular business podcast. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your day.